Hello. Okay, I just like to start off by thanking Coach Holtman, the whole Ohio State University, Ronnie Stokes, and all the former players that helped make this game possible. There's a lot of special people here to my father and our family, and this game wouldn't have been possible without all those guys stepping up. But the Buckeyes got a great team. I was really impressed. It was a great experience for our guys to be guarded like that and have to try to block out those monsters inside. So I don't know. They picked 7th or 8th in the Big Ten. That's nuts. If that's the 8th best team in the Big Ten, they're going to shock a lot of people, and I was really impressed with their team. They're going to win a lot of games this year. Pop?
Yes, I think I just watched a little bit before we played them. I think they're stronger physically than they've been, and their guards are very experienced. So they have a chance. I told Coach after the game. I watched. They have a chance to be very, very good. They're deep. They've got several guys who can shoot the basketball. The most important statistic in basketball, other than the final score, is a rebound margin. And they have a lot of guys who can rebound the basketball. Now, if they can take care of the ball, and I think tonight they had more turnovers than they're going to have because of the number of people he played, and a lot of those turnovers came not from their primary ball handlers. So I think they're going to be a really good ball handling team too. And their big guys are pretty skilled. Wesson, since he's Keith's son, both Wesson guys are kind of favorites of mine, and I followed them last year, and I continue to follow them, and we root for them. We consistently have tried to schedule the absolute best teams we can. Tonight was an example of that. Very, very powerful, strong team. We didn't play as well as we can, but we're kind of starting over. We were at the top of the league last year and won the tournament, and we got 3 new guys going to play pretty vital roles for us this year. It's going to take us a while, but by the time we get to January, I think Coach's team will be much better than what you saw tonight, much tougher physically than what you saw tonight. It was just a great lesson for us because we kind of toyed with 2 Division II teams. We scrimmaged 2 and won both of those by 30 and got away with a lot of shaky play. So tonight was a great experience for our players, great experience.
What did it feel like to get to spend the time with the people that you were hoping to see and to be recognized before the game? Well, overall, just emotionally, what was today like for you?
Well, it's just great to see those guys. When I left here, I was working all the time, so I don't get much chance. I'm still working. So I'm going to take a little break now, but when I'm down there, he doesn't give me a lot of free time.
Don't believe that. He goes to the golf course whenever he wants. But it's a little warmer down there this time of year.
Usually I get a little more involved than I was tonight sometimes, and I will when I go back. It's kind of a special night, and we all kind of wanted to see how we were going to react against that kind of physical strength. We've got a long way to go. But guys came back from a long way away. The 10 years that I was here at Ohio State, I got to work with a lot of wonderful young people, very strong guys. You saw a lot of them out there tonight. A lot of them came a long way to get here. I really appreciate that. It meant a lot to me, to my family. My family got to meet him a lot before we had a little reception before the game. I'm going to run upstairs and see how many of them are up there now. And I got to see Mike Bordner and Bryce Westfall, my trainer, my equipment guy. It's just, you have a lot of magic moments in your life, and today's one for me.
What's it like for you to see all these guys coming back for your dad?
Oh, they're all like family, and growing up around, the Ohio State University with the basketball and football tradition, and getting to tag along with Dad on some of those recruiting trips when I was 4 or 5 years old, and just seeing them today. Some of them I didn't recognize right away, but it's great to catch up. And Dad's been really excited about this, and so it means a lot to all of us.
Were you a good closer as a kid when I was recruiting?
Once in a while, Dad would ask my opinion, but it was pretty easy when I think I saw Clark Kellogg score 50 in the state championship game. I thought that was a pretty good scholarship to offer. I remember when Dad made up his mind to offer Ronnie Stokes. He was recruiting Troy Taylor first and kept watching me. He said, his backcourt mate's pretty good too. I think we're going to offer both of them. But it was fun to kind of be a part of that from a distance, but also really get to know these guys as really an extension of our family. That it? Just thanks again to everybody and Stokes, Taylor, all these guys that came back, and Coach Holtman, and best of luck to the Buckeyes this year.
Luther, we'll start with you. To get a start tonight, what has the preseason been like for you, and what did it feel like to be in the starting lineup?
It feels great. It's just been a learning process, learning how to play our defense, the type of defense we play, staying in the gap, learning the offense, learning all the plays, and just being a great teammate and coming ready to work every day.
Dwayne, as soon as you got in, I think you got a couple of shots up pretty quickly. What's your confidence level like as you're just getting your career started here?
Yeah, my teammates do a great job of giving me confidence, every day in practice. Even just walking around being a regular guy, they're just telling me, the next one's going in. They tell me I shoot the ball pretty well, so I'm just grateful to have them, and obviously I'm going to come in and I'm going to be aggressive and confident. So.
How important was it to have that defensive enthusiasm here, especially in this exhibition, to kind of set the tone for what I guess Chris Holtman or just the entire team expects out of defense for the rest of the season?
That was a general question.
Yeah, just any of you.
It's very important to set the tone on defense for every game, no matter if it's an exhibition or a regular season, because that first 5 minutes dictates just about most of the first half. So if you come out with the right intensity, right energy, it trends down to everyone on the team, and that just uplifts everyone on the court and off the court.
Dwayne, you guys all live together, right?
Yeah.
You all know each other pretty well. Like, do the four of you, do you collectively have an identity that you think you can bring to this team? What do you think you all together bring to this group?
It's a great question, because I can give two answers to that. One is our energy. Just like all of us have a real positive mindset. We're always high-fiving and running and laughing and jumping. So definitely the positive energy always. And the other thing is we don't know yet. We're still trying to find our identity, all four of us. So it's just we're going to go through the season and we're going to keep bringing each other together.
And Jay, what do you envision your role being? I know you look maybe multi-positional a little bit. Just what positions have you been playing in practice leading up to this, and how do you think you fit in with the other, I guess, front court guys on the team?
I don't know yet. I mean, I'm kind of just out there just trying to fill it out. It's a new game for me, but in practice I kind of just been with the bigs, just trying to learn just one position at a time and taking my time. But just whoever Coach Holtman puts me, I'll be happy.
Coaches and players have both talked about how you four came in and were extremely talkative. And in a team like this where they lost a lot of key guys and 4 freshmen, brought in 2 transfers too, how quickly did you acclimate yourself to this?
From the first day, we were in here joking around with everybody, you know. I think we knew before we even came here too, you know, we were going to bring a lot of different personalities to this team and this group. You know, every day we come in the locker room and, you know, we're in here 7-8 hours a day overall with our workouts, lifts, you know, taking care of our bodies. And when you're together with your team that much, you gotta be connected. You know, you gotta have a bunch of different personalities. You gotta be able to get along, and that definitely translates onto the court. You know, if you see us on the court, we're all always laughing, joking around, you know, talking on defense. So I think it definitely correlates with each other.
Justin, you had to wait the longest to get in. Could you just talk about your first game?
Yeah, you know, I was excited. I'm not sure how much I'll play this year, but no matter what, whenever my name is called, I promise to give my 100% effort and fulfill my role for Coach Holtman and for this university.
Luther, what do you see as being your role on this team?
Well, I've been known for my defense, so that comes first. So be a high intensity guy and try to set the tone with CJ and the rest of the 3 other guys that's on the floor, and basically just be yourself. Like, I don't try to be anywhere or any particular guy. I just be myself, and I just play to the team, to the team's strength.
For Dwayne and for Luther, Coach Holtman has talked a lot about with his guard. He's notoriously hard on his guards and not turning the ball over, and you guys had probably a few too many tonight. How has that been addressed to you guys so far, and what have you learned about how Coach Holtman handles his guards?
Yeah, that's a great point. He doesn't like when you turn the ball over. So definitely in practice, you know, they get tallied up, and at the end we run, so he takes it very serious, and obviously we should too. You know, every possession matters. They talked about last year how most of their games were in between 8 to 10 points, so a turnover and a bucket could be that game decision. So he just definitely he drills it into our head that we got to take care of the ball, and you know, me and Luther have both gotten better. All the guards, everybody on the team has gotten better since we started practicing seriously. So you know, it's just a process. We're going to get better as long as the season goes on.
Yeah, he hit it on the spot, and just pretty much no one likes running 22s at the end of a long practice.
Point guard, and I know that. You know, everybody's got to run for it. So you know, we're on them for handling the ball. You know,
so
it's a group effort.
Be very careful with the ball. Oh, you got 22s.
Or you're getting taken out.
That too.
Thanks, guys.
That's it.
All right, what's up, everybody? Lot to take from this game for us, good and bad. A lot to take from it. So I was glad we got to play a lot of different guys. Obviously, great having Coach Miller and his son back here, and what a great reception he had to start. Our fans gave him a great reception, I think, to start the game. So that was good to see. We'll move forward. A lot to improve on. We have some significant areas that need improvement. Significant areas.
Would those significant areas mostly be turnovers and three-point shooting?
Yeah, I'm not as worried about our shooting because I think some of that is just you're getting the feel and jitters, and they had some changing defenses, which obviously we're going to see. And, you know, we weren't playing guys extended minutes, but certainly turnovers, certainly. We had way too careless with the ball today.
Were those things that you'd seen in practice to this point, or were you a little bit surprised that there were that many?
Yeah, it was. We've seen certain guys struggle with it, honestly, and I'm not. I don't want to call those guys out. We struggle with it collectively, but we've seen some guys struggle with it, and as coaches, we just got to help them make better decisions. And you know, if not, we're going to be in a situation where I'm not playing guys extended minutes that can't take care of the ball. Not doing it.
Chris, I wanted to ask how you came about your starting lineup, but then your first 3 defensive possessions were a shot clock violation, a tie-up, and then a forced travel. I guess, is that the answer to my question?
Yeah, it's our best. Right now, that's our best defensive team. The other thing is Keyshawn could really start. I mean, I think he had 3 threes and had 15 points in the Xavier scrimmage. You know, I like him coming off I like an experienced guard coming off the bench with an inexperienced guard. So right now, I think our starting lineup will be very fluid, but that's really the reason more. I mean, he could really start. He's going to play starter minutes. He could definitely be in that starting role. It's just I like him coming off with another inexperienced guard.
Is some of the turnover stuff, not that it's acceptable, but is it unavoidable when you have, one, youth, but also guys who have not had the ball a lot in their career who you're expecting to have it more and be more aggressive this year?
Yeah, I think for sure, but you know, guys should know now what they can and can't do, and you know, we had primary ball handlers today that have handled the ball for us before and just didn't make great decisions. So, you know, again, we'll get better in those areas. We will get better in those areas. Andre had three assists and 0 turnovers in the Xavier scrimmage, you know. And the thing with this group is, like, these guys want to do the right thing. They really do want to do the right thing. And I think there is a part of, you know, CJ handled the ball a lot for us last year. He had turnover issues early. He got those corrected. He's got to move more in that direction. Andre's going to handle the ball for us a little bit more. So that aspect of his game has to continue to grow, and it will. I believe it will.
We've asked you about this before, and I think they only played together for like 2.5 or 3 minutes, but Caleb and Micah were out there together. Is that something you've done a lot of in practice, or just happened because flow of the game today? Yeah, I mean,
in today's day and age, it's hard to play guys like that. And like I've said a number of times, it's on rare occasions when you're playing 2 traditional bigs. I think it's certainly something that I would like to look at, but 95% of teams don't play that anymore. And a lot of it, people don't, you know, it's dictated by your ball screen coverage. And trust me, we have mountains of film to watch and see how guys can guard one-on-one and in space and those kind of things. So there could be times where it's looked at, but it's not going to be a steady diet.
You already
Was the ball handling better against Xavier, and what are 22s?
What are 22s?
You mentioned about 22s, running 22s.
Okay.
But was the ball handling better against Xavier?
Yeah, it was. It was. To these guys' credit, these guys do a good job of getting hands active. And the game was completely different. Xavier was a closer game. We had a lot of different guys play in this particular game, but it was better. But listen, they had something to do with it too. I don't want to put it all on us. They're guys. They got athletic guards, but we have to continue to improve in it, or at some point, guys are going to get the message that we're not going to play guys that consistently turn the ball over. But I really do think our guys want to get better at it, and they will. 22s are just down, back in 22 seconds. That's a 22, and we run those for turnovers. They should be.
You already mentioned the first 3 defensive possessions. Is that the kind of, I guess, aggressiveness mentality that you want your team to come out with each and every night defensively?
Yeah, it is. I think it's a solid defensive team that we have to start the game. Right now, again, Keyshawn would probably fall in there somewhere. That's our 5-6 best defensive lineup. Andre gives us great versatility. We've talked about that, and he cares. Andre really cares about defense. Kyle Young's growing in that area. Caleb's growing in that area. Luther is understanding our system, but does a good job. And then CJ is he competes on that end. He's got to get better. His details have to get better, but he competes on that end. So, yeah, it's a group that hopefully we don't have the versatility that we had with last year's group in JT and Kada, and that's significant. We're going to have to figure some things out as coaches because we don't have that versatility. But those guys care on that end.
But that is the expectation in terms of guys kind of flying into the first row of seats and providing that defensive pressure for the entire roster?
Yeah, C.J. Jackson plays really hard. C.J. Jackson plays really hard. We got to get him playing more sound. But, I've always thought the kid has a really good motor. I want him to do some things. I want him to lead better and improve in some areas he needs to. But when he's playing, when he's good, he's playing really hard. He's a great motor.
Chris, you seem maybe have a heightened level of irritation of an exhibition game. Is that just because you know what's coming and you know how you guys start the season?
Probably, yeah. Do I seem irritable, Bill? Wow, a little bit, do I?
Not the psychoanalyzer.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, I appreciate you all sitting up straight here and in a great stance as journalists, seating posture. You guys know what I'm talking about, don't you? Okay. So thanks for doing that. It's one of the first things I noticed here. Everybody's upright. Listen. I think it's the schedule. It's the season coming. It's frustrated probably to some degree because the turnover issue is something we've dealt with some returners. So my expectation's a little bit higher. Obviously, I have to do a better job communicating to that, communicating that to them, and whether that means sitting them more or whatever, I've got to do a better job on that end.
Micah Potter, I think, had 4 baskets through fouls and was getting to the line and seemed engaged and aggressive. What did you make of him, and is that can he play like that all season? Well,
we'll see. I think Micah did some really good things. Obviously, would have. We wanted to give Jay an extended run, but obviously he did some really good things, and I thought he rebounded the ball really well. We all know with Micah offensively, it's never been. He's always really been a guy who offensively can do some things. Okay, he can shoot the ball. He's got great lift around the rim. He's gotten to where he can catch balls. It's defense and defensive rebounding at the end of the day for him, and because offensively he's really gifted in some areas. And I thought our guys did a great job finding him. He did a great job attacking the rim. Okay, thanks, guys.